So communication skills is the first thing that I have realized that important beyond the report cards. And then in report cards, the report card belongs to you. It is your expertise, your knowledge, your subject. Everything is yours. But the world doesn't have you alone. The world is about teams.
Correct.
Right? So even if you are living, you are living in a family, it is more like a team, right? You have to coordinate with your house helps, you have to coordinate with your parents, you have to coordinate with your siblings or spouse or children or whatever, right? So you have to make coordination with everything. Similarly, in professional life, you don't work alone. You work with a team. So the second important skill is that you need to be a team player. If you're not a team player, you will not be able to go a long way. And the third one that I feel is critical thinking and problem solving.
I'm Jitendra Singh, banker turned entrepreneur and author of the book Perfect Mastering the Art of Selling. I welcome you to read my story where I interview authors, speakers, coaches, celebrities, entrepreneurs, and more. Today I have with me Miss Vandana Saxena. She is a highly accomplished professional with a diverse skill set as a soft skill trainer, HR professional, content writer, and author. She holds a management degree in personal management and industrial relationship from University of Delhi, a diploma in business English and office administration from New Delhi YMCA, and a certificate in content writing and digital marketing from Henry Harvin Education. Her expertise lies in communication skills, and she delivers dynamic training and workshops in various functional areas, including writing skills, content writing and creative writing, content marketing, and HR skills such as interview skills, campus to corporate programs, talent acquisitions, and retention. She also conducted numerous behavioral training sessions on topics such as team building, management, customer first program. Exceptional training sessions have benefited reputed corporates like Suzuki Motorcycle, LG, Hamilton, Hindustan Glass Works, and Daikin. With over a decade of experience as a freelance soft skill trainer and content writer, she continues to make a significant impact in her field. In addition to her successful training career, she is an accomplished content writer and has garnered 15 million views on her blog. Her exceptional work has been recognized with over 12 awards and accolades platforms. With her freelancing vertical spanning soft skill training, content writing, and content editing, she showcases her versatility and talent across multiple domains. Throughout her impressive 10 years journey as a freelance professional, she has constantly demonstrated her commitment to enhancing individual skills and facilitating personal and professional growth. So today she would be discussing with us about her life journey. So let us hear from her. Welcome, ma'am. The platform is open, and now over to you.
Thank you for having me here, and I really feel elated to be a part of your story that you're gonna share. Since I've been writing stories, those stories are always connecting, and it feels so good that it's time to tell my story now. So thank you for having me here.
It would be a pleasure to have you here today. So, ma'am, first thing I'd like to know from you is how did your past life has affected the person you wanted to be in your life and what you are?
Well, okay, so I don't look into the past that much, honestly speaking. But the way I was born and brought up in a very conservative Indian family where I think if I look at that, I wouldn't be what I am today. So I think as if we let our past affect our present, we will not be able to evolve. But yes, one thing that I have acquired from my past are the learnings, whether it is my personal life or professional life or parenting learnings or any learnings. I think my past has given me a lot to learn, personally also, professionally also. And I feel if I have to give you an example, I have not done the parenting mistakes that I felt that unknowingly my parents did. So that's a part of the learning. So past is only the learning for me. Otherwise, I don't think so that anything that if I look into the past will affect my present in any sense today. So I never wanted to be somebody, because I always feel that, it's never too late to become what you might have been. So I kept reinventing myself every few years.
That's really wonderful. But actually, what happens is when we are growing, so we always have
Yeah.
certain thoughts that we want to be like someone like this, or we want to choose such and such career. So that ways.
Yeah. So, as a child, I think I didn't have anything to, to be honest, I didn't make any decisions for myself. There were people who used to make decisions for me. So
Right.
I chose HR because obviously my parents wanted me to, I'm an HR professional by qualification, by discipline. So I chose HR because my parents thought that that was the best for me in that point of time. They wanted me to be a teacher, but that was something, with all due respect to teachers, but that was something that I didn't want to be, because I couldn't wake up in the morning and I didn't want to go back to school. It's as simple as that. So I didn't have much choices, and I did what my parents asked me to do. I chose the courses what my parents asked me to do, and that is how life began for me. So
Right.
it was, decisions were taken by my parents or by my peers, or anything that was advised by other people. I did that. However, I kept trying all the time.
Right, that's really wonderful. So now, ma'am, if
Yeah.
I ask you things you are passionate about in your life, and what is the role of motivation and inspiration behind that?
Well, passion, I think a lot of people have asked me this question, that what is your passion? If I have to tell you lightly, I feel travel is my passion. I am really the happiest person when I'm traveling. And I firmly believe that well traveled is well learned, So I have learned a lot while traveling. I think a lot of knowledge I have acquired while traveling to various places in India and overseas. But if you come to passion, I think I have discovered that writing is my passion. I feel that I am the best expressive person when I am writing something. I cannot speak. Maybe I may not be that expressive when I am speaking, but yes, writing is my passion because it gives me a sense of contentment. The rest of the things I'm still trying. You keep trying things and then you discover your passions. Like a small child goes to school, you put them to a guitar class, you put them to a dance class, you put them to abacus class, and then you realize, okay, what he is good at. So I am still, I think this goes on, this doesn't end. So you have to try maybe 50, 100 things to discover your passion. So I've discovered two, I guess. One is writing and the other one is travel. So I really feel that brings me a lot of learning. Writing obviously brings me a lot of learning. So those two, I would say, are my passion.
Great. And role of motivation and inspiration?
I find motivation in almost everything, So for me, motivation is not something that I have to keep looking at or finding something. I mean, I feel inspired. I am sitting in a discussion with you. Maybe you will have something to inspire me. You never know. I'm sitting in a training center. I remember one of the days I was really tired, and it was a celebration of Women's Day, and I was delivering a soft skill training, and it was for the team, women only team. And I thought maybe I have the busiest day of my life today. When I heard their stories, I realized, no, I am in a better space. There is someone taking care of my house while I am at work, while they have to go back and handle the house front also, right? So that's the sense of motivation, that if they can do it, I can also do it. Obviously, so motivation comes from everywhere. I mean, you read a book, you feel inspired. I feel inspired mostly by reading. I read a lot of self-help books, and I feel that the inspiration may come from anything. You really don't have to look for it. It comes to you. It's just that you have to accept and keep your eyes open, ears open, mind open all the time.
Correct. That's really important. Unless you accept things won't come.
Yeah. Things won't come to you. Even if there is something inspiring, you will not act. If you don't accept it, it will just surpass you. It's as simple as that. So inspiration comes mostly from books or reading. But yes, inspiration comes from everybody. I mean, anybody can. It's easy for anyone to inspire me just by sharing their stories.
Right. And if I talk about your work and experiences, like how you started your career, what all you did so far?
Well, I began my career in 1997. So I have been working for good 25 years now. So I began my career with a mechanical firm in HR operations. I mean, I was an HR professional. So I began my career with HR operations, the basic operations, the talent acquisition, helping in talent acquisition, data management, salary management, and all of that, benefits and compensation and all of that. So I started leave management, petty cash management, a bit of administration part also. So I began my career with that. Then I evolved into strategic. After working for 4-5 years, I evolved into strategic. I started assisting the top HR managers or the top HR team or the team leads with the HR policies and procedures and all of that. So it all started with the strategic HR, and I practiced HR for good 10-12 years before before I delivered my first training for communication skills. So my writing skills have always been wonderful. I mean, by God's grace, I used to write well, and that's how I delivered my first training for communication skills and business English writing, because we had those who had to write a lot of reports or write a lot of international submissions. So I had to just teach them the writing skills, and that's how I reinvented myself into learning and development. And since then, there has not been any looking back. So I've been delivering these. I started with communication skills, and now I'm delivering leadership skills, conflict management, team building, time management, stress management, and whatnot. So it all began with that. So over 25 years, I think I have evolved from an HR professional to a soft skills trainer. And then in between, I reinvented myself as a writer. I published my first blog. The blog reached somewhere around good 10 million views within a year. And that's how I invented my passion for writing. And I just became a published author within a few years of writing. And I'm still writing something every day and looking forward to writing every day. And over these years, I worked with various industries. I worked with retail. I worked with mechanical. I worked with credit management company. I worked with telecom company. A lot of industries that I have worked with. And every professional stint has been a learning experience for me. And that's how I evolved. I've been doing that. So past 10 years, I've been working as a freelancer because the 9 to 6 kind of thing doesn't click me anymore. And I've been working as a freelancer just to strike the right balance between work and life. And I'm working as a freelancer, delivering only the soft skills training. Somewhere at given point of time, I am also into HR consulting, work as an outsourced resource for managing the HR operations or handling the HR strategies and all of that with a few corporates.
Great.
But primarily, I'm into learning and development now.
That's really wonderful. Like you started from operations in HR and you end up being a trainer and a coach.
Yeah.
That's really wonderful and inspirational too, because you have also worked in multiple industries and faced lots of challenges of each industry. So inspiring.
Yeah.
So ma'am, if I talk about your vision, mission and goal now for next 5 to 10 years, so what do you think that should be?
Well, I think vision, mission, and goal, these are fancy words for me, to be honest. These are really fancy words for my vision. So my vision is, as long as I have something to learn every day, and as long as I am acquiring some knowledge every day, my vision is pretty clear about it, that this is what I am gonna, do with my life ahead. I want to be a constant learner, though a lot of people say that you are an expert now. So I'm saying, no, I cannot be an expert because that will close the doors for learning for me. So my vision or mission will lie in the learning that comes to me every day. And the goal, definitely, I would say that my goal would always be that knowledge is something that, if I have to give you an example, you have a coin, I have a coin. We exchange it. We still have a coin each. But you know something and I know something, and we share it. We now know 2 things each. Correct. So the mission would always be the believe in power of sharing knowledge. So whatever knowledge I have, it's better that I share it and I gain more and I keep imparting my experiences and knowledge to people so that, everybody is equipped to handle that comes across during their personal or professional journeys. Because when I began, I always wanted or wished that somebody was there to teach me these skills, and I didn't have anyone. So the mission is everyone should be equipped with those soft skills to understand, balance life, understand life, take over the professional journeys, and of course, implement those skills in the personal life as well.
Right. That's really important because you have to go beyond whatever you expect in terms of your thoughts, minds. So you cannot stop at one point.
You cannot stop at one point. So you have to keep going, right? So I just plan, I just plan for a week that this is my week's calendar. At times I plan for a month also. But eventually when I sleep, for me, mission is accomplished if I am able to learn something, if I am able to, deliver something. And obviously, if there is a scope of doing something better in my life. So that would be, my day is achieved. That is what I mean by, accomplishment. My day feels accomplished. The day I don't learn anything or day I don't deliver anything, or I see that, okay, I've become stagnant, then I start reinventing myself. Okay, let me do something more now because it's just too stagnant now. It's like that for me.
Right. And best way to move ahead in life is always learning.
Best way to move ahead is learning. I mean, there is no
Yes.
other way to move ahead. Yeah, you have to keep learning all the time.
Right. So, ma'am, if I talk about the things you have learned in your life, personally and professionally, so what are the most important life lessons from there?
Well, professionally, I have learned that stay committed to your profession, regardless of who your employer is. It's the most important learning for me professionally, that remain committed to your profession. And this I learned from one of the chauffeurs who used to drive Mercedes. And I had a boss and I used to manage fleet those days. So we had an important guest, and I had to get the guest picked up from the airport. And I realized the day I reached office, I realized that there is no one to pick up the guest. There is no car there, but there is a chauffeur who used to be my boss's chauffeur and drives Mercedes. I used to drive 800 then, Maruti 800. I was young and I used to drive only 800. And I asked him that, Yuvraji, will you please pick up the guest for me because there is no car? And he said, yeah, I will. I said, but then you are used to driving Mercedes and I have Maruti 800. Will you be okay driving that? He said, my commitment is to clutch and brake and gear, not really the make of the car. And that was an important life lesson for me, that it's more about staying committed to your profession and not really, it doesn't matter who your employer is, who you are working for, but unless and until you are committed to your profession, you will not be able to grow much. And remain honest. Anything that you feel that you do not know, accept that you don't know. That's one important learning that I have had all through my life, that it's, as we grow older, it's hard for us to accept that I don't know. We know everything. And that happens with me at most of the time when I'm going to deliver trainings, that mostly I have the audience who have worked already for 15 years, 20 years, and they're like, that somebody coming from outside, are they going to teach me my work? No, really not. So it's hard for them to accept that I don't know. There is something that she knows and I don't know. So that's the second lesson, that, I often accept that I don't know. Please tell me, even if I know something. So I'm greedy in that sense. And in a greed that somebody will really tell me something new, I just say that I don't know. Can you please share it with me? So these are the two professional lessons that I have learned from life, that it's okay to accept that you don't know, and it's imperative to stay committed to your profession. The third lesson that I have learned, this has helped me in my personal life and professional life also, that what other people think of me is none of my business. Whether you're doing good or you're doing not so good or whatever, it just doesn't. Yes. So a lot of people will have problem when you are rising. Rise anyway. It's fine. It's okay. Rise anyway. Just don't bother about, because people are there to say something or the other, not generalizing anything, but then yes, better remain focused on your work. And it's absolutely okay to keep trying new things if something doesn't work. So when I started my freelancing journey, one of my friends asked me that, you are giving up your career on peak. Are you, what if it doesn't work? I said, fine, I'll try something else. It's fine. It's okay. If it doesn't work, I'll try something else. So you have to keep trying. Keep reinventing yourself, keep knowing your strengths, knowing your understanding where you can click. I'm sure nobody knows where you click. So you just have to keep trying 100 things all the time.
Right. And you rightly pointed out, like, if you're open to learning, you can learn from any person in life. And the driver taught you so important lesson in life. So whatever you are doing in your life, you should love it. Like your your work. That is really a wonderful learning from a person who does not know anything about management lesson or something like that. So wonderful.
Exactly.
And the most important thing is you should be open to learning. So, but most people are reluctant to learn from people or from things around. They lack. So it is important to open up.
You should open up. Accepting that, I don't know this. It's fine, Accepting it is a difficult task. Once you accept that I don't know, there is a scope for learning, then only you will learn. That's the first step towards learning.
That's really important and wonderful thing in life. So, ma'am, if I talk about, like, you've been a trainer for quite long. So what are the key skills that go beyond traditional academic report cards and are crucial for success in the modern world?
Well, I guess the traditional academic report cards are something that, that tells you that you have a knowledge or you are a subject matter expert of a particular subject. You have the subject knowledge. But if I ask you to, supposedly, if you are a Java expert, you have your report card which says, or which you have your certificate which says that you are a Java expert. Now, if I tell you that, you have to teach Java to someone, will you be able to? You may be or you may not be
Possibly,
able to. For that, I think what you need is the communication skills, which is the most important skill that I understand. And I realize a lot of people feel that if I am able to speak well in English, I am a good communicator, which is not the case. So having a hold on the language, it doesn't make you a good communicator. Right. It means you have the knowledge of it. But communication is that what is your idea and how do you want to deliver it so that the other person understands it exactly what you want to say. That is what communication is, right? So language is just a tool. If I am scoring distinction in English, that doesn't make me a good communicator. It means I have a hold of the language. That means I have the knowledge of the language. But that doesn't mean that I am able to communicate, right? So language is definitely, the better you are at it, you can get better at communication, or you may get better at communication. But communication is something that you have to deliver your idea to the other person, and then you should be ready for the exchange of ideas without any ambiguity in what you are trying to say, right? So communication skills is the first thing that I have realized that important beyond the report cards. And then in report cards, the report card belongs to you. It is your expertise, your knowledge, your subject. Everything is yours. But the world doesn't have you alone. The world is about teams.
Correct.
Right? So even if you are living in a family, it is more like a team, right? You have to coordinate with your house helps, you have to coordinate with your parents, you have to coordinate with your siblings or spouse or children or whatever, right? So you have to make coordination with everything. Similarly, in professional life, you don't work alone. You work with a team. So the second important skill is that you need to be a team player. If you're not a team player, you will not be able to go a long way. And the third one that I feel is critical thinking and problem solving. So life is all about choices. It gives you choices. You choose something, you stand by it, and then comes a problem. If there are no problems in life, everybody would be, know
what to do in life.
Yeah, actually, we will not have anything much to do in life. In that case, life will be so monotonous, right? So the problem solving and critical thinking is one skill that everybody should have. Starting from the childhood, I believe that everybody should be able to solve little problems of their lives so that they have these, critical thinking ability to solve their upcoming problem or any problem that comes up. And these three things are imperative beyond the solving a math problem by a formula is fine. But now there is a problem that my answer sheet is lost, and what do I give to the examiner? That is where your problem solving skills are tested, right? So life never ask you a mathematical problem. No. When you get to the life, or when you start working, or when you come to think of it that you start working, or you come back to the family or whatever, after pursuing your exam, finishing your exam, you start living a life. There is a new problem every day, and that is beyond the report card. No report card has that. No, nothing. There are no books for that.
Right.
So obviously, these are the three imperative skills that everybody should have.
Really important, and you rightly pointed out. Without these things, we would not be able to move ahead in life. That is one important objective in life. So if I talk about this further, so how do these skills beyond report cards, such as critical thinking, communication, or problem solving, contribute to personal and professional growth?
Well, I think critical thinking is something that you think with the logic, reasoning, and with all your mind. And critical thinking will be obtained over a period of time. It will be developing the logic and judgment, and then taking decisions open-mindedly and coherently with the reality. It is not anything that is bookish that you can do. So there may be right decisions and there may be wrong decisions. You may end up making right decisions, you may end up making wrong decisions. So, how do you make corrections in life, right? So if you do not have the ability to understand that, this is how this decision is gonna affect me in future. So at times whenever a problem arises, what happens is we just decide that, okay, this is a small thing. Let me just resolve this issue and rest I will see later. This happens many a time, right? But we do not realize that how in the long term that small issue will become big, and it is going to affect my performance, and it is going to affect me till further. So I better critically think and resolve it now instead of taking it beyond a certain point of time.
Correct.
Communication is most problems, I think they appear due to the communication gap only. Half of the time we don't communicate and we think the other person must know it. Even while giving the instructions, we do this. I remember one of my bosses used to do that. Vandana, usko wo bhej diya. And I used to be like, what? Right? So I had to really work hard to understand that what exactly he is trying to say, because according to him there is something on his mind which he has communicated to me, but it is not communicated. I have no idea to what is happening, and then there is a problem. Now I have to critically think and solve that problem instead of sitting on it that, okay, he will ask me again and I will do it after that. No, I have to solve. I have to dive into my mail, okay, what he must be thinking, or maybe go back to him and ask him clearly, no, I didn't understand, can you please clarify, right? So I think if anybody who doesn't applies these three rules of critical thinking, problem solving and communication, the growth will become stagnant at a certain point of time. Because if you grow professionally or personally, you need to understand the importance of these three imperative skills that one must have.
True. And most important thing you rightly pointed out, communication. If the communication is not proper, that is the core root of all the problems which are arising in life. So most problems arise because of communication, improper communication. That's really important, because if we communicate well, most of the problems would automatically be solved. But still there are problems which needs addressing them. So there is a way which could be done through critical thinking. And if I talk on further, like what steps can educators and parents take on prioritizing and developing skills beyond report card, ensuring that individuals are well prepared for the challenges and opportunities for the future?
Okay, so if I talk about the educators, I'm talking about the way I grew up. The way when I grew up in the 90s or 80s, but precisely 90s I started working only. So I grew up in the 80s, and during that time or during those years, if you are not studying science or engineering or medical, you're good for nothing, right? So those were the times, and I came from that time. So report cards mattered a lot. So when my daughter grew up, she will be appearing 12th class this year, and I realized that my report cards were never flashy, and I'm doing well for myself, right? By God's grace, God has been kind to me. And my daughter, her report cards have always been so flashy. And she appeared for her 10th exam and she got a flashy report card, with all A grades and A plus grades and all of that. And the educators were after our life that, okay, why do you not want to take her to medical or engineering? I said, no, that's a matter of choice. It's a matter of choice. Let her decide. So the first thing that as Indian educators, I'm not about the international ones, but I'm talking about the Indian ones because most of the time I'm dealing with the Indian educators and parents. We do not allow our children to take decisions. We take decisions for them. Like even if you're a toddler, parents are buying the shoes, right? That this will fit you well. No, let the child buy the shoe. Let the child try the dress and pick up. Let them make wrong decisions. It's absolutely fine, because if they don't decide, they will never know how to make the right and how to differentiate between the right and the wrong decisions. So it's better that, let your child decide, whatever age, even starting from toddler age, let them decide what they want to eat. Let them decide what they want to buy. Allow them to make wrong decisions. So they said, no, she's making a wrong decision by taking humanities. I said, let her. It's fine. There can always be a correction to it. She can do something else in that case. But let her take decision and let her realize that, okay, this is what I have done wrong and this I shouldn't do in life now. I should be doing this. So it's absolutely fine. I have realized that there is nothing in this world that cannot be fixed, except for, when there is God's willing. But otherwise, everything can be fixed. So let the child decide on their own and let them take their own decisions and let them do wrong. It's absolutely fine. Wrong in the sense, wrong is a strong word, but let them take not so right decisions and let them revisit their decisions and come back with the better ones. That's how they learn. So that's how educators and parents stop serving your child on the platter. That's something that I think one parenting advice that I give to all children and one education advice I give to educators whenever I am visiting the schools or somewhere, that just stop reducing everything on the platter for them. Let them take decisions so that they know once they take decisions there will be a problem. Once they have the problem, they will try to solve it. Once they try to solve it, and if they are not able to solve it, they will communicate. Once they communicate, they will learn how to deal with other people. So that's how you are building personalities.
Correct.
Report cards are fine, but these skills are also important, right?
Right. And you rightly pointed out, if they decide, they lies the responsibility risk on their shoulders. So they would be like kind of feeling relying on themselves that whatever decision they are taking, the decision is their own. So they have to work hard onto it. They have to be prepared for whatever challenges may come in, and they have to understand what alternate paths are available if that is not going well. So if they are deciding, they need to be prepared well on all these aspects also.
Yes, it's more about owning the responsibility, no?
True.
Yeah.
So if I ask you, like now I'm moving back to you again, if I ask you your take on success, what do you feel about it?
Well, success is subjective, and I feel I don't know. I don't appear in the Times of India every day, but I find myself successful in terms that I am able to sleep. I am able to sleep with all the contentment in life. That success for me means that I have learned something today, I have delivered something today, and I have added value to my life and other people's life. So as long as I am, and also I am earning, the monetarily I am stable. That's it. Success means to me that. So every 6 months I want to go on a holiday working like this, and I don't want a Sunday off, but I need a holiday, and I want to travel every 6 months for 5-7 days. But that's what success means. If as long as I am able to do that and I am able to do it better every day, I am successful. It's subjective. For me, success is this. Otherwise, there is no end. You can be anyone. So there's no end to it.
Correct. Rightly pointed out. So any message or advice you would like to share with our viewers and listeners?
Well, I think I believe in collaborations, because a lot of people believe in competition. So I believe in collaborations because I think the world is more about collaborations. It's not about the competition. So once you have the collaboration with other people, you grow. So I collaborated with many people, and I have a dear friend, Amitabh, with whom I collaborated recently. We discussed a lot that we came from completely different niches. We never thought that we would work together. He's from media and I'm for soft skills, and we were like, we can never work together because obviously there are no matches to our skills. But how our synergies worked well, that which I lack completely. I just cannot. I'm not a marketing person, but creatively I am sound, which he lacks. So we combined and we started, delivering these workshops together, and the results were awesome. So one message to the viewers would be that collaborate with other people. You may or may not be in the same niches, but let your synergies flow so that other people can, synergize with you and produce something which is unexpected. We have had some amazing responses within the first month. Right. And the second thing is never stop learning. Never try to be an expert, because if you become an expert, you have closed the doors for learning. There is one more important lesson that I learned in life is it is important, it is imperative for you to believe in yourself. I think this also something that I was taught by one of my bosses. So he asked me to go deliver a presentation, and I was really nervous, and I said that, I told him that, sir, I cannot do this, I'm really nervous. He said, okay, fine, you know it, you are nervous, why are you telling me? Do not let the audience understand that you're nervous. Keep it to yourself. Just fake your confidence. It is fine. You have all the knowledge. Just fake your confidence. If you're nervous, don't tell anyone. So I'm like, okay, fine. So believing in yourself is also important. So these are the 3 messages I would like to give to the viewers.
Really wonderful. And I must say the discussion we had was really amazing. and you have shared so many
Amazing.
things from your personal life, professional journey so far. That was also really motivating and inspirational too. And your work and experience in multiple fields was also immense. And the work you are doing related to training and personality development, soft skills training are also really a need of an hour. Like many people require them in personal and professional lives both. So that is really wonderful thing you are doing. So I must thank you for your time, energy today, sharing all your like stories and not only the life story but a meaningful lesson to everybody today. That is really wonderful. Thank you so very much, ma'am.
Thank you.
Also, I will share your social media link along with the interview so that people can be in touch with you, take your help and guidance.
Sure. Please
Don't
do that. I hope you have everything.
Yes. So, guys, don't forget to check that out too. Thank you so very much, everyone, for watching and listening. I hope you all must have gathered a lot of information and enjoyed watching it. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Have a good time. Thank you, and bye bye.